Welcome current and future org leaders. In this video, student activities and involvement will provide guidance for transitioning officers in your campus organization. We will discuss the process for both incoming and outgoing officers and how to make the transition as smooth as possible. There are a few questions you should ask yourself. Are you a current officer leaving your position? How will you leave your position gracefully? How will you ensure that your replacement is prepared to continue in your position? If you are about to begin your role as an organization's officer, what do you need to know in order to be successful in your new role? How will you hit the ground running and pick up where the last officer left? And finally, where can you get help when officers leave unexpectedly or without giving you the support and resources you need? If you are taking on a leadership role, you will want to clarify and understand your role's purpose and responsibilities. This will require communication with previous officers and advisors so that everyone is on the same page. When the entire executive board of an organization has clear expectations and delegated responsibilities, the organization has better opportunities for success. You'll want to become involved in the planning process as early as possible so you can see how the outgoing officers plan and complete the behind-the-scenes work. You'll also get the chance to have your voice heard early on, especially if your organization decides on events and activities well in advance. Finally, incoming officers should have foundational knowledge of their organization's history and purpose. Transitioning officers can help with this, but you may need to do some individual research to sufficiently prepare yourself for your new role. If you are transitioning out of your leadership role, make sure you have made yourself available to the new officer or officers. These students will likely have a lot of questions, and being there to answer them will help the future success of your org. This includes helping plan next term's events or activities and explaining how you effectively fulfilled your role. Even explaining mistakes or potential improvements for the organization can help future leaders better understand and prepare for any scenario they may face. We also consider closure to be immensely important to org officers. You have done a great job, so celebrate that. Do whatever brings you a sense of closure, whether that's having an end-of-term party, writing a letter to your advisor, or something else completely. Don't forget to ask your advisor for a letter of recommendation if that is something that you are interested in. Finally, reflect on some of the challenges and successes you've had over the course of the semester or year. These are likely experiences and skills that you will use in your future career, so recognize what needed to be different and what you excelled at. When you first begin this process of transitioning, both parties should brainstorm lists. Incoming officers can focus on their general questions and concerns about their new role, while exiting officers can focus on all the important knowledge they have over the time that they served. It's better to write these lists down, especially if you are providing specific responsibilities, passwords, account numbers, and contact names. As mentioned before, it's incredibly important for incoming officers to be aware of their role's responsibilities, so now is the time to review the Constitution and discuss if other officers' jobs will stay the same. Incoming and outgoing officers should have at least one one-on-one meeting with one another. This is a great time for incoming officers to ask questions and advice. Exiting officers can wrap up any unfinished business and hand off any necessary documents and materials to the next officer. Meeting one-on-one helps the incoming officer feel more comfortable in their role, while the exiting officer can create closure for their position and reflect on their challenges and successes. In this one-on-one meeting, the exiting officer will likely do most of the talking. If that's you, then you should bring a copy of your organization's constitution and bylaws. Within your constitution, there should be position descriptions of both officers and members, a list of committees and their descriptions, if any, a list of basic annual procedures or a calendar of annual events, and your organization's mission, philosophy, goals, and purpose statement. In addition, you should have a member and contact list contact information of important people and offices on campus, financial records, evaluations of previous and current projects, meeting minutes and agendas, and any historical records of the organization. Finally, it's good practice to teach the incoming officer how to use programs like Connect and WebEx. If you need extra help, feel free to reach out to Student Activities and Involvement by emailing at uw.edu for additional information about using Connect. Once you are prepared for your one-on-one, whether you are an incoming or exiting officer, there are a few topics that you'll likely want to touch on. For example, reviewing both past and potential org events can help exiting officers reflect on how previous events went, while incoming officers can understand more about the process and what events they potentially can do. Some questions you can ask together include: which events were successful? When should planning start for each event? Which events were unsuccessful? Were they poorly run or poorly attended? How could your organization improve its events? You'll also want to review your organization's process of recruitment and the overall retention of members. Ask yourself, what did your organization do to recruit? What worked? What didn't? Why do your members stay or become active within the organization? And why specifically did your new members stay or become active within the organization? We will have another eLead video dedicated to recruitment and retention of org members, so if you have any other related questions, be sure to watch that informational video as well. After you have had a one-on-one meeting, the full executive board that will be serving during the next term should meet to discuss the upcoming semester or year. All of the board members and the academic or campus advisor should be present for this meeting. This meeting should take place before the exiting officers leave campus so the incoming board has a chance to ask questions. Make sure that as a team you plan for the upcoming term by establishing a calendar of events, any meeting details, future constitutional changes, solutions for possible challenges, fulfill national expectations for your organization, and any other important details to your org. Your organization's board should create expectations for one another and clarify how each of you will fulfill your responsibilities in your role. This can be done by reviewing the Constitution and setting goals for the upcoming term or year. Although this will be a professional environment, take the time to get to know each other. You'll be working together a lot, and understanding one another as people and fellow students will help later on. Finally, create a list of anything else you need from exiting officers before they leave. Now that the incoming officers and board members have met, the exiting and incoming officers should have a final meeting to review any other questions or needs that come up. This meeting is optional but incredibly beneficial for gaining feedback before the new term has begun, while building a relationship with your organization's alumni. This meeting mainly focuses on wrapping up the officer transitions, and exiting officers should be given the opportunity to share any final thoughts, ideas, or resources. And the new board should be able to share their future plans with the officers that are leaving. Thank you so much for watching this eLead video. If you have any questions about this video or about campus involvement at all, contact Student Activities and Involvement by emailing involvement@uw.edu or calling 262-472-6217. If you want to see us in person, you can make an appointment by calling the same number or stop by the SAI front desk in UC 146. This is the desk by the computer lab in the University Center. Until then, feel free to watch our other eLead videos to improve your organization.